The movie begins with Detective Spencer and his partner Driscoll arriving at Captain John Boyle's house. When Spencer enters Boyle's home, he finds Boyle intoxicated and his wife injured. In a voiceover testimony to a judge, Spencer explains that he went to Boyle's house to question him about covering up the murder of a woman named Gloria Wisniewski. The situation becomes heated, and Spencer beats Boyle, claiming it was deserved. Almost 5 years later, Spencer is about to be released from prison. He is approached by an inmate named Squeam, who is part of a supremacist prison group. They engage in a brawl, but Spencer eventually gets released. Spencer's friend Henry Simile picks him up, and they drive to Henry's new home where Spencer's dog Pearl resides. To Spencer's disappointment, Pearl seems to prefer Hawk's company over his own. Later that night, Boyle is attacked and killed by a group of hooded men while he is driving near a bus yard. The following morning, nurse Letitia Graham discovers her husband Terrence dead in his car with a gunshot wound to his head. Letitia becomes hysterical, and onlookers try to assist her. News spreads about Boyle's murder, and Spencer becomes an immediate suspect. Driscoll and another detective visit Spencer to verify that he was not near the crime scene when Boyle was murdered. However, the other police officers in the city hold a grudge against Spencer and suspect his involvement. Spencer starts a new job as a truck driver but takes it upon himself to solve the case when Terrence is accused of being involved in the murder and the media suggests he committed suicide out of guilt and distress. Spencer visits Letitia, who informs him that the detectives who raided her home knew exactly where to find planted drugs. She tells Spencer that Terrence was last seen going to a cop bar with Boyle. Spencer goes to the cop bar and speaks to another detective who might have information about Terrence's association with Boyle. Spencer sincerely apologizes for his previous actions towards Boyle, but a few other cops loyal to Boyle enter the bar and instigate a fight with Spencer before throwing him out. Spencer acquires security camera footage of Terrence and Boyle meeting outside the bar, which he takes home to examine with Hawk's assistance. He then visits the crime scene and later meets Driscoll at a gym, who denies being present at the crime scene. Spencer suspects otherwise when he discovers a toothpick, which Driscoll typically has in his mouth. Spencer has lunch with Hawk, but his mood is dampened when his ex-girlfriend Davis shows up. They have a brief encounter in the bathroom, discussing a previous pregnancy scare. Spencer is relieved that she didn't become pregnant. As they leave, Spencer and Hawk spot the same Corvette seen in the security footage. Spencer chases after the car on foot and is attacked by a guard dog but manages to obtain the license plate number with Hawk's help. Spencer visits the DMV and coerces the employee into revealing the owner's information. The car belongs to an Irish mob enforcer known as Tracksuit Charlie Bentwood. Spencer, Hawk, and Henry surveil Bentwood while he receives a massage. During this time, Spencer shares his past connection with Boyle and Gloria Wisniewski, recalling how he used to shovel snow from Gloria's mother's porch and how Gloria fought against gentrification as an activist. Bentwood was sent to intimidate her, but she refused to yield. Later, she returned home to discover her cat nailed to the door before Spencer stumbled upon her lifeless body in a trunk. He personally broke the news to Gloria's mother. After viewing security footage showing thugs assaulting and murdering Gloria, Spencer learned that Boylan had purposely overlooked the murder case and dispatched Spencer when confronted. This incident sparked Spencer's attack on Boylan within his residence. Subsequently, Hawk vandalizes Bentwood's car to provoke a reaction. They surveilled Bentwood for several days until 2 FBI agents instruct Spencer to cease his investigation. Spencer visits Squeep at the hospital, hoping to extract some answers. Squeep refuses to speak until Spencer shows him his phone, revealing Henry recording Hawk during a date with Squeep's girlfriend. Eventually, Squeep relents and utters a solitary word, Wonderland. With the help of reporter Wayne Cosgrove, Spencer and Hawk discover that Wonderland is a casino syndicate controlled by corrupt police officers and the Trinitarios gang. Spencer visits the area and encounters 2 Trinitarios, but they coerce him to depart. Boylan receives a traditional officer's funeral, whereas Terrence's service is modest, attended only by immediate family and close friends. Driscoll discusses an unfolding situation with his partner Macklin, which could lead to unwanted exposure. Spencer visits a restaurant where the Trinitarios spot him and attack him with machetes. He skillfully fends them off before Hawk arrives with a car, aware that the Trinitarios can identify him and pose a threat. Spencer takes Pearl and Hawk to a secure location. Later, he visits Letitia's vandalized home, where she hands him an audio recording of a conversation between Terrence and Boyle. The tape corroborates that Boylan was a corrupt officer and implicates Bentwood, Macklin, and Driscoll in their collusion. Driscoll delivers the fatal blow to Boylan. Spencer brings the tape to the FBI, but they deem it insufficient evidence to pursue Driscoll. Determined, Spencer confronts Bentwood, subjecting him to a forceful interrogation that elicits a confession regarding an incoming drug shipment from New Hampshire to Wonderland. Spencer and Hawk locate the truck, force it off the road, resulting in the death of 2 criminals, and discover the drug stash. Driscoll contacts Spencer, realizing he possesses incriminating knowledge. He kidnaps Henry and demands a meeting at Wonderland within an hour. Hawk accompanies them, assisting Henry's liberation. Spencer and Hawk board a truck to disable the criminals' vehicles and engage in a final confrontation. Although Driscoll nearly prevails, Spencer restrains himself from delivering the same brutality he unleashed upon Boylan, opting to avoid a return to prison. Leaving the corrupt officers behind with the evidence, the police arrive at the scene prompted by a call from the restaurant. Carrance is exonerated, and arrangements are made for an appropriate officer's funeral as well as a scholarship for his son. To celebrate, Spencer, Hawk, and Henry indulge in a lobster feast. However, Spencer's attention is captured by a news report detailing a church fire from 2 years ago, with the Boston fire chief being arrested as a suspect, despite maintaining his innocence. Spencer's claim of familiarity with the fire chief alarms Henry, as it suggests Spencer may embark on yet another case.